What's happening, crypto traders and investors? It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. It's June 11th, Saturday. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. In this short video, going to be discussing the state of the crypto market. I know a lot of people are losing their minds, and I wanted to come on and give some key levels that I'm looking at, potentially what we can expect for a temporary bottom. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. If you're new here, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and subscribe and tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos. At the moment, we're looking at 15-minute bear flags across the crypto space on all of our major names here that I'm following, including Bitcoin, which is leading the market at the moment. 15-minute bear flag, which means that we could see a new lower low and more downside from here. But we are holding key levels of support right now on Bitcoin at the moment, right? We're holding the previous low there from last month at 25,338. So we are holding some key levels, but we are expecting a little bit more downside here in the short term. Personally, I think that Bitcoin could see a lot more selling pressure over the next week or two. And we know the fear and greed index is very near an all-time low comparative to some of our other bear market cycles and bear market bottoms. I did issue a warning about 2 months ago. I say crypto and S&P 500 major warning signs flashing, top close, sell in May and go away. And essentially what I was referring to is these death crosses, which is the 50-day moving average crossing downward through the 200-day moving average. That was the first time that happened on the S&P 500, on QQQ, the tech sector. Bitcoin flashed that signal, Ethereum, pretty much all of our major assets, right? Like stocks and crypto, pretty much everything in those asset classes were confirming death crosses. So that had me extremely skeptical. And that's when I put out this video about a couple months ago giving that warning, and that's why I've been holding about 50% of my net worth in cash, right? I even do my hedge. I had a hedging plan video and my current portfolio breakdown. You can check those out. You can just go here and search for those. But essentially, we need to be expecting some downside, right? Nothing goes up in a straight line forever and nothing goes down in a straight line forever. We usually see patterns and ebbs and flows. We see lower highs and lower lows where we have a relief rally and then a new low, or we have a high, a higher low, and we pull back and we create a higher high in a bull market, right? So nothing goes straight up and straight down forever. And if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, we've been rising for the last 5 months in a row. This is the weekly time frame, so the last 5 weeks in a row. And we're likely due for some pullback. Why? Because we're approaching RSI overbought, and we're approaching a key level of resistance here at 48.92%. Having consolidated in the last 5 weeks, it just means we had a higher low every candle. So as soon as we lose the low of the previous weekly candle, weekly consolidation will be underway, and we'll look for a weekly higher low. It'll just be healthy, and we'll look for a pullback to around that 44 to 43% area, and likely watch a top somewhere around that resistance rate there, around 49 to 50% dominance. And then what's usually happens following that is when we're pulling back right on the Bitcoin dominance, that's when altcoins start to outperform Bitcoin. And that's why Bitcoin, in my opinion, is outperforming altcoins right now, is because the dominance is rising, right? Even though crypto is losing dollar value, basically all this chart means is that Bitcoin's losing its value compared to comparative to the US dollar compared to altcoins, right? Altcoins are losing more comparative to the US dollar, right, in that denomination, and Bitcoin is holding its own a lot better. And we know that to be the case because we're holding the low of last month, right, at 25K. If we take a look at Ethereum here, we're losing last month's low. So again, that's just indicative that Bitcoin is stronger at the moment, and we can see that in the charts. And we can also take a look at Altseason Index, and you can see here that it's in Bitcoin season. We didn't really fully get our altcoin season yet this bull cycle. That's why I'm a believer that we're likely in a lengthening cycle. I don't think we're in a full-blown bear market yet. I think this is more of a corrective phase of a bull market. And if we take a look, we're not even testing the previous all-time highs here from 2018 on Bitcoin. Ethereum actually just did. And so far, we're holding previous resistance as new support, which is classical technical analysis theory. But we can't lose sight of the fact that we do have some head and shoulders patterns here, both on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this is using the log scale. And if we take the the worst case scenario, the targeted move here on the log scale. So if you just toggle log there, you can see here the target for this move of the head and shoulders. If we do confirm it and we lose 25K, we could be heading worst case scenario down to about 13,000, which is also our previous resistance here from our high in 2019. So we'll be watching 20K as an area of support. Personally, I'm going to be watching right now at the moment. Here's the levels that you need to be watching on Bitcoin. If we lose 25K, it's all about 22,000, because 22,000 is the weekly moving average here, or the 200 weekly that everybody and their dog is watching. And if we lose 22,000, it's all about the all-time highs, the previous all-time highs there at 20K. And if we lose 20K, then we could easily be heading down to that 13,000 area and confirming that head and shoulders target. And if we take a look at the worst case scenario here for Ethereum, if we do confirm this head and shoulders and we lose previous all-time high here at 1422, that's also our 1 fib and the previous all-time high. So we'll be watching, if we don't hold that, we'll be watching for a pullback to that 0.786, which is around 1135. And that also lines up with the 200-day moving average. On Ethereum, it's at 1191 at the moment, 1192. So we'll say 1200, just round it up to $1,200. So if we lose 1400, next support to be watching is 1200. And then if we lose 1200 on Ethereum, we could be seeing this full target play out of this head and shoulders all the way back down to around $600, which also lines up with the with our fib support level here at the 0.32. So it's not looking good at the moment, but we are holding some key levels of support. And like I said, Bitcoin, the fact that Bitcoin dominance is holding up better tells me that we may not see max pain. I think that we could potentially see another week, maybe 2 of downside, but then I would expect a massive relief rally because, I mean, let's face it, on the weekly time frame, we were a potential weekly bear flag here forming here. And if we lose the low at 25,000, that's going to be the weekly bear flag confirming. And then if we take a look at the measured move from the bear flag, you could say, I'll just take it from the high to the top there. You could say we'd be targeting on this weekly bear flag a move down here to around $18,000. So again, if we confirm this weekly bear flag, that's really going to increase the odds that we see that that weekly 200 weekly moving average come into play, just like Ethereum would at its $1,200. But then Bitcoin, major support that I'm going to be watching is 22,000. So again, lose 25, we confirm the weekly bear flag, then we're targeting 22. After 22, the must-hold level is $20,000. We lose $20,000, we could easily be heading back down to that 13 to 14K, right? Mid 13,000s, and see that head and shoulder target play out. But we know that inflation's running rampant. There's not really any end in sight, and I wish I could come on here and give you guys a little bit better news, but unfortunately the charts are the charts, and that's what I'm seeing. And like I said, I had that warning video put out about 2 months ago that we could see a lot more downside from here. I even did a video on my current portfolio breakdown. You can just search it here, and my hedging game plan. And, you know, keeping a ton of cash on the side, right? Not going all in, dollar cost averaging, keeping some cash on the side. I own more cash than I do crypto, and I own more real estate than I do crypto. So I've been diversified, and I've been averaging in. I actually just added to my portfolio some QNT. I also added Algo, Filecoin, and what was the last one? I'll just bring it up here real quick. And I got a few other on my shopping list, HBAR. So yeah, Algo, HBAR, QNT, and Filecoin is what I've been adding on this pullback, but I'm looking to potentially add some XRP as well at 30 cents. Let me know in the comments below what you're accumulating. If you're accumulating, are you buying, selling? Obviously, this isn't financial advice. Do your own research, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But I always love hearing from you. Let me know what you're buying at the moment and what your sentiment is. Do you think we're close to a bottom? Personally, I think we're going to potentially set a new temporary bottom here at some point in the next week or two, and then see a pretty big relief rally. We know that the Bitcoin ETF could be approved at some point in the next month or two, so that would be a catalyst to create some euphoria once again in the market. All right, going to end it there. If you could smash the like on your way out, I would appreciate it. Help support me in the channel, and tick the bell, subscribe. You'll be notified on any future updates. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.